breaking news.
We begin with breaking news out of Hanford this afternoon. A 17-year-old boy is dead. An investigation is underway in Fresno County after a deadly crash involving a semi this morning. Family and friends are preparing to say goodbye to Tulare County Sheriff's Deputy Randy Hoppert. Suspect is identified by the sheriff as 59-year-old David Morales. He is still inside the home, barricaded as negotiators and family members talk to him to try to encourage him to come out of the home, and he is armed with a high-profile assault rifle. Now, Lauren, I know that you've been tracking these conditions for several hours, so how are things looking out there for us at this moment?
We have a very, very special guest who's joining us. He's gonna do a little dance for us too, so you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
How many have they made now?
It's a 6-1. I literally said it in the intro.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. You almost fell over and it just really stole the show.
It really did. Thankfully, no one else saw that.
On her own. She's just standing there and nearly fell over. Sorry,
I just like see you and I'm mesmerized.
Is that what it is?
You know, like falling over myself.
Oh,
I'm just like, wow, he's so handsome.
We're live at Chuck Chansey Park here in downtown Fresno, where the Fresno Grizzlies have their opening night against the Stockton Ports. It's going to be so exciting. We've been waiting for this day all season.
Okay, Parker, last question here. It's a really serious one, okay? So you got to really think about it. You can't answer abruptly, okay? Who's your favorite anchor, me or Brian Dorman? Super Bowl 60 won't just have star power on the field, it will have local star power in the sky.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we go, we had such an amazing show. Of course, we got to end it with Parker himself. Thank you for being with us. Okay, so are you excited for this game tonight? Okay, so you're doing a little dancing, right? Because they're gonna win. Are you gonna show us your dance moves?
Are they TV appropriate?
Oh, right, good question. Yeah,
we were watching you bust a move here, and I don't know if this is TV appropriate.
He doesn't know how to dance, so he shouldn't even say anything.
I don't know how to dance. That is so rude.
I'm like mesmerized by how she's staring at Lauren right now. I think you need to adopt another pet. Maybe it's a sign. She's so cute.
You know, she does tricks too, so that's a bonus. Can we do a little shake?
Let's try.
Let's do a little shake.
Let's see, Pepper, sit.
Sit.
A shake. Give me that shake. Give me that shake. Oh, she's camera shy.
I would like kids, but it would have to be with somebody that has money because they're expensive. So I'm just gonna say it, you know. It's the truth. They're really expensive, aren't they, Brian?
Yes, they are very expensive. How many would you like to have?
I don't know. It depends on how much money the person has.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on MedWatch today. I'm Vanessa Villafuerte. A Clovis mother is alive and healthy after a medical emergency almost killed her and her baby. Allison Quinn Rangel had an aortic dissection, a deadly tear in her heart's main artery. Doctors, nurses, techs, and many more came together to save both Allison and her baby girl in a race against time.
At 37 weeks pregnant, Allison Quinn Rangel thought she was heading toward the final stretch of her pregnancy.
I was not feeling like 100%, but I was also pregnant, so that was to be expected.
Later that night, she was fighting for her life.
It was about 5:15 that evening where I had called my husband because I was having severe chest pain.
Allison says she knew immediately something was wrong. She has Marfan syndrome, a connective tissue disorder that increases the risk of dangerous heart complications.
I was in excruciating pain, and I was telling my husband, please don't let them take me to labor and delivery because this is not labor. I think something's really wrong.
Her medical team at Clovis Community moved fast. She was rushed into a CT scan.
I would say within 45 minutes of going to Clovis Emergency Department, we knew exactly what had happened, and that was an aortic dissection.
Cardiothoracic surgeon Dr. Shams Khwaja says an aortic dissection can be deadly.
Aortic dissection is a tear in the aorta, and it's a bad problem, so it needs an emergent care surgically.
But what made Allison's case even more complicated is that she was nearly full term. That meant doctors had to save not one, but 2 lives.
Of course, our focus was on helping Allison, but we also wanted to see if we can safely deliver the baby.
Within minutes, a massive team assembled. Allison's OBGYN, Dr. Stuart Mason, was called in as part of the care team.
So went to the ER with a group of the nursing staff, and lots of things going on, probably 20 people in the room. She is very upset and very scared. As part of that, she said, "Dr. Mason, don't let me die." So I made her a deal. I said, we'll do our best.
Hours after arriving at the hospital, Allison had an emergency C-section. Baby Emery Quinn Rangel was born safely.
And they actually were able to move me to the heart surgery, the cardiac OR, and do the surgery where Dr. Kwaja successfully fixed my aorta. And it was, I think, like a 5-6 hour surgery that at that point my husband then knew that she was born and healthy, and he got to go during my surgery, which distracted him a good distraction during a very scary time.
Allison's surgery lasted hours, but even after it was over, the danger wasn't.
Unfortunately, her heart had a problem, and we had to revive her in the ICU, which the whole crew did, and then take her back to the operating room and revise our coronary bypass.
Nearly 24 hours later, Allison finally woke up.
The first thing I asked was, "Is the baby okay?" And my husband was there holding my hand, and he said, "Yes, she's beautiful," and showed me a picture, and it just was so happy. I didn't really know what had happened to me, but in that moment I was so happy that this one was just perfect.
As Allison looks back at that scary moment in her life, she says she's alive today because every person on her medical team moved as one.
They saved my life. Like, Dr. Kwaja saved my life, and Dr. Mason saved my baby's life.
When you have a team that works, it doesn't happen by accident. So this is a group in labor and delivery that's a big family. Everybody knew their job. They, tightened their belt buckle and got to work.
As she grows up, Allison has an important message for her daughter.
Don't just stand in the background. Don't let other people make decisions for you. Be a part of it, and be courageous. I want her to know that it was really hard. And we have like a saying in our family: the Rangels could do hard things. I want her to know that.
We start with 4 tiny kittens whose fight for survival has touched so many hearts. At just 7 weeks old, 4 kittens have already experienced more pain than most animals should in a lifetime. After surviving a devastating house fire, they're now fighting for a second chance.
I like this one though. That's my favorite right there. You're not so bad, I know.
Frank the kitten has a bit of an attitude.
I've had many orange cats in my time, and this one's a little extra spicy.
But for good reason.
This cat has a little bit of extra reasoning why he or she is a little bit frustrated.
A Good Samaritan rescued Frank and his 3 siblings, Frankie, Franklin, and Mackie, from a Fresno house fire. They're now under the care of the Valley Animal Center for emergency medical care.
Like I said, once she's settled, she does get to purring, and she is very sweet.
Unfortunately, one of these kittens has passed away due to the complications of the injuries that it faced.
Their condition so severe, one of them, little Franklin, didn't survive. But for the others, the fight was just beginning.
For one of the kittens that you'll see in the incubator, who's one of the worst out of the group, she was almost fully sedated through that medication. She was really sedated to the point where she wasn't really even interested in walking, but that was because when she was fully alert, like you can just see the pain that they were going through.
Weeks after the fire, the kittens who once struggled just to stay awake are improving. But Ruben Cantu with the Valley Animal Center says every day brings new challenges.
We want to make sure that they're not showing any signs of what we call fading or any other secondary issues that they may be dealing with. For example, during these examinations, these day-to-day quality checks, discovered and determined that a few of them are dealing with ringworm as a secondary issue to the burns that they're dealing with.
With severely burned fur, paws, and smoke exposure, the priority is simple: make it to tomorrow a little stronger than they were today.
Affected her first should not look like, oh, I know, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
But as their bodies begin to heal, something else is starting to emerge. Their personalities.
I'd pick her up, but she's a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, of course.
Despite everything they've been through, Frank and his siblings are starting to act like kittens again.
Their little meow is just very like, it's a cute little meow. It's not quite the painful meow that we were hearing.
For the staff caring for them each day, those small moments matter. Whether it's a tiny hiss or a meow, those are signs that they haven't given up. But while these kittens were rescued, Cantu says not every animal is as fortunate.
It may be difficult to hear it this way, but you know, if these kittens' parents were spayed and neutered, this would have never been an issue for these kittens, you know?
What Cantu calls the peak of kitten season means shelters and rescues across the valley continue to see more animals in need. He says many of those cases are preventable. For these kittens, the community support has already made a difference. And for others still waiting for help, it can make all the difference in the world.
We will always need the support of our community out there to help us with situations like this, whether that's donating, volunteering, sharing the story simply to your family, your community out there.
Yeah, I can see a little bit like her whiskers.
Right.
Their journey far from over, but for the first time since the fire, Frank and his siblings will soon get what every animal deserves: a second chance.
I know in a matter of weeks and months that this cat's gonna be a happy kitten and it's gonna make it into a home.
Valley Animals says it learned about these kittens through its partners at Fresno TNR, a local organization that promotes spay and neuter efforts across the Central Valley. And the kittens do remain in stable condition and are continuing their recovery. Still ahead.